girl Keandra, and I'm back with another video. And this video is going to be another Netflix review. I did a review on When They See Us, maybe like a week or so, maybe like 2 weeks ago, a couple weeks ago, and it's getting a lot of views. So since that premiere, the ice cream truck is here. Since that premiere, they sat down with Oprah and they did a series, like an interview series called When They See Us Now, where Oprah got to interview Ava as well as the actors in the series and then the actual 5 exonerated men. So I just wanted to come and give my review or opinion or my thoughts about that. And yeah, so if you want to see me talk about it, then stay tuned. Okay, so I look kind of busted because I literally have been crying. Like, not even, I don't, well, I'll say this. I don't know. I know why I was crying, but I don't know why I was crying. Like, first off, it's about an hour long. It's not a really long interview. And even though I'm happy Oprah, did it, I feel like it still ain't really answer a lot of questions that I personally had. You just kind of got to hear what they thought about the series and how they felt watching it. But one thing that touched me, because I thought, Corey was going to touch me, but in this particular interview or segment, Antron really touched me. And I think Antron, to me, had the most relatable or realistic response to the whole thing. And sorry, like, my neighbors are loud, so you're gonna hear them stomping because they think they're elephants. But Antron, basically, he talked about how he was still bitter about the situation, how he was still angry, how he lost his religion, how he still hates his father, even though his father is dead. He lost his mother right before it aired. Like, she was alive enough for them to, like, interview and get, like, her side of the story, but she never got to see the documentary. She died of cancer. And he talked about how, he had all this, yeah, they got money from the lawsuit, but it still couldn't save his mother. And just how he was bitter. And to me, as someone who's been bitter or someone who hasn't forgave people or a certain situation, like, I understood it. And, not to say that the other guys weren't inspirational, but I know, like, especially with Yusef and Raymond, they just seemed more positive about the situation. Like, oh, we're happy our story was told. Hopefully we can prevent this from happening. And Antron was just like, nah, fuck that. I'm still mad. Lost my childhood. I hate my father. I lost my mother. Don't believe in God. My wife thinks I need therapy, but I don't want to go type shit. Like, and I felt him, and I feel like for me, like, if I was Corey, that's how I would feel. Not saying that Antron doesn't have a reason to feel that way, but I feel like that's how I thought Corey was gonna be. And whenever they would ask Corey questions, now granted, apparently he has like a learning disability, and it's kind of hard. It was hard for me to watch whenever they would ask Corey something, because I felt like, number one, they couldn't really go deep into detail. I'm not really sure, but like, basically they had said that much more had happened to Corey than what we saw. And it's like they teased it, like they were gonna get him to tell us, and then like they didn't. And so even though I know that's someone's story and that's someone's pain, like I couldn't help but wonder, like, what else happened or what else happened. So much that the actor, Jarrell, that played Corey, was in the audience with Niecy Nash. They were crying. Like, all the boys were bawling when Antron and Corey were speaking and telling their stories. And honestly, I don't think Corey said more than like 20 words the whole interview. And I don't know if it's because he's not able to, because of his disability, or if it's just hard to talk about. And I don't know, and I don't mean to be insensitive to the fact or to the other 4 guys, because they definitely stated that how, you know, those 4 guys had their own story, but they wanted to make sure that they focused on another part specifically just for Corey, because he went through so much. He served the most time, and if it wasn't for Corey having that encounter with the guy who really did it, then they wouldn't have gotten off. And, you know, and sometimes, like, I personally feel like they just need to have like a whole nother sit down with just Corey. Not saying that I don't really care about the other 4 and their experiences, but I've been seeing a lot of interviews, especially since I live in Atlanta. So like, they've been on radio stations out here. The 3 that moved down here, well, Yusuf and Raymond, basically, I've been seeing their interviews everywhere. And the fact that they're, you know, okay to talk about it and move on, I mean, that's cool and all, but I really want to know more about Corey's situation, and I don't know if we'll ever get that, because he is everyone who talks about Corey or on his behalf, they've had nothing but positive things to say about how he's a great person, all of that. However, whenever he's asked questions in the few interviews I've seen of him, it's almost as if he doesn't know how to answer them, or he it's just something not there, something that's not clicking. And for me, I just, you know, and then at the same time, for me, I'm just like, well, you knowing, like me talking to myself, you knowing what exactly Corey went through, like, what is that gonna really do for you? Like, do you want to know because you're intrigued, because you actually want to see change, or you want to know just so you can still be mad about it? So a part of me is kind of happy that they didn't really go into detail on what exactly Corey went through, because I think that probably would have made things worse, because from what they even just showed, that alone was very hard to watch. I was definitely crying. Everyone there was crying, and yeah, I don't know. It's just sad to see. And then it's like, he's so funny, and you can tell he's full of life, and he's like grateful for, you know, everything that everyone's been doing for him. He just seems like a really good guy. I even went to Corey's Instagram, and it's so funny. It's like, you know how your uncle be having social media, he kind of be posting whatever. Like, Corey's Instagram is like, you know, a regular old person's Instagram. Not saying he's old, but he's like, you know how your aunties and stuff be on Facebook? Like, that's how Corey's Instagram is. So it's like, I know he's not like, you know, crazy or anything, but you know, you have to understand, he spent a lot of years in solitary confinement, like by himself. So of course there's going to be some type of, you know, disconnect socially. But he just, you know, I can't help. And I think, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm talking about it, you know, I never really plan these videos. When I make them, I just get on camera and start talking. I think that a part of me wants to know, how did he stay so strong, and how is he so happy? Because I know there are things that I go through that have completely broken me. Like, I'm about to cry now, because I just think about everything that I've been going through, and there are things that are nowhere near as bad as what Corey went through, and he's still so happy and so full of life, and he's so grateful. And so it's just kind of like, where do you get that strength from? How did you stay strong? How are you still this amazing positive person? Meanwhile, I'm crying over the smallest things, like the smallest things. So I think that's why I kind of wanted to know more about Corey and his story, and I kind of wish they dug deeper into that, just so I can find strength where he found strength, maybe. However, I also have to understand that could be a very sensitive topic, or that could just be something that, it could be a trigger. It could be something that he doesn't want to talk about. Even though Ava did say that, you know, he gave her permission to tell his story and talk about everything. I think she the one who decided that they couldn't show everything. But just, he's so strong, so strong. That's what everyone keeps saying, but you can just see it. Like, even if there is something wrong with him, that's something that happened while he was in prison, you can still see the love and the positivity like shine through all of that. And then you have Antron who was just being real. Like, they asked him, you know, did he see or feel any kind of redemption from the series airing? And he was straight up like, nah. He was like, I'm grateful, but I lost my mom. My dad's a coward. I'm angry, you know, and it's been 30 years. So I'm happy that he was honest. I saw a young love how you say her? Iyanla Fix My Life. I seen her tweet him, and I'm not sure, cause I be watching her show, and sometimes people be end up worse. That's just my opinion. I don't dislike her because I do watch her show, but I just feel like sometimes like people's lives don't be getting fixed, and I don't know if I would want to see Antron go on the show. Like, I mean, if it happened, of course I'm gonna watch, but I'm gonna be side-eyeing the whole time, like, Iyanla, don't fuck this up. Like, don't fuck this up. And a lot of people are telling her on Twitter when she tweeted him, you know, if you're gonna do it, you know, don't do it on TV, which I agree. If she does do it on TV, I'm gonna watch, but I kind of don't want her to try to help Antron on TV, just because I just feel like a lot of her episodes, she don't be helping nobody. That's just me. That's my personal opinion. But, you know, if she can help him deal with the loss of his parents and the anger he's dealing with, then by all means, I think that he still needs help, especially after 30 years. You know, clearly money doesn't buy happiness. Money doesn't buy the time back that they lost. I could just only imagine. Like, it's crazy. Like, I don't know. And it just made me open my eyes, because a lot of things that, you know, I complain about, a lot of things that I go through, and it could always be worse. And I don't know. I think everyone should watch the interview. Like I said, I left with a lot of questions still, but mostly just about Corey. But I don't think we'll ever really get that in-depth interview with Corey unless he has someone there to help him communicate. Or because I don't think anything, not that I don't think Corey is capable of doing like a interview, but I don't know, just I think it's the way you ask Corey things that they would have to really focus on. And I don't want to blame his disability, because it can honestly just be because it's just a very traumatic situation. So you have to watch how you ask him things. But I remember I saw another interview of somebody interviewing him on the red carpet, and they were saying like a whole bunch of like big ass words and asking him like 5 questions in one. And you can tell it was kind of hard for Corey to answer them. So, I mean, if they got the right person to simplify and break it down to ask the questions that we really want to know, I think it could work. I would love to see that interview, but if not, I kind of understand as well, because I mean, it is what it is. It happened. He's very strong. He survived, thank God. And yeah, I don't know. This is just my thought process. Like, it was a really, really good interview. Shout out to Oprah. Shout out to Ava and all the people who played those men and told their stories. It definitely puts things in perspective for me personally, just to be grateful. My closure way back here. Just to be grateful for, you know, life and freedom. And, you know, things could always be worse, but they're not. So, yeah. Make sure you guys go and watch it. Let me know if you've seen it. Let me know your thoughts down below. And until next time, bye guys. Don't forget to subscribe.